Howdy, and welcome to Smeral's Custom Computers, and this is my personal gaming rig. Now, I just wanted you guys to take a listen to how loud this computer is. Alright? 1, 2, and 3. See, there you go. That is how loud this machine is, and mainly it's because of this fan right here and my two front fans. All my fans are on their highest setting right now, and I'm just trying to see if I can get temperatures down a little bit, because I had this case open for a while and doing this video several times, and the temperatures kind of rose up a little bit because it's kind of warm in here. So, but I'm doing okay temperature wise now, so let's get this on. Alright, now this is the Antec 300. I do like the finish of this case. The reason I chose this case is it's a nice blank slate to do modifications, build a gaming rig. The airflow in this machine is actually pretty damn good. I can have no major complaints. It's great for modding. Now, I do have to warn you, I haven't painted the inside or anything, but let's get on with it. I'm going to take the side panel off. You open it by basically just like a door. I gotta unplug a fan here, so hold on. And already half of the noise is gone. I'm starting to wonder about this fan, whether or not it's good at running full tilt. I will have to deal with that sometime later. Now, as far as sound, this PC is loud, and it's because I have all the fans I have in here. For my hardware, I am running a AMD Phenom 2 6-core, running at 3.5 or 3.4 gigahertz. It's not that bad. It's overclocked from 2.8. It's the 1055T AMD one. Sorry about that. As far as the cooler, I'm using the Corsair Hydro Series H60. It actually does better than I thought it would for being a closed loop system, and me using only one fan on it. I was using two fans. I had a push-pull configuration on it, and using just a pull configuration on it, I'm actually getting halfway decent temperatures. But, I could be doing a lot better. The graphic card I'm using is the Sparkle GeForce GTX 460. It's a decent little card. It plays all the games that I want to run. For my hard drive, I'm using a Seagate 1TB hard drive, 7200 RPM. For the optical drive, I am using a LG Super Multi Plus LightScribe. For my power supply, I switched from the OCZ Fatality Edition 550 watt power supply to the OCZ 650 watt ZT series. I switched because I wanted a more modular power supply than what I currently had, and this gave me all the options I could ever ask for. Yes, I do use a PC speaker. You can see that right there, and that's because I am a firm believer in postcodes. Stock fan is the 140mm Tri-Cool stock fan in the back for the case, 120mm Tri-Cool. I tend to run these at full speed, but I don't necessarily need to. Actually, I generally run the top fan at its lowest setting and run the one on the H60 on medium, unless I'm gaming, and then I'll open the case up and turn that one up. And then you notice all the noise goes away. Let's hear that again, shall we? That is a noisy little case, isn't it? I'm glad this case runs the way it does. I'm very happy with it. I hope to God the next one works out the way I want it to. Now, the reason I picked this again, like I said, was because it's a great it's a modern stream. You can do anything you want with it. You can have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard drives. You can have up to 1, 2, 3 5 1/4s. And, I cannot say better things about this setup. It just works great. Now, as far as my front fans go, I have two Rocketfish Gaming 120mm fans in front. I bought them because they were cheap, but they actually move quite a bit of air. I'm rather impressed. My power supply is mounted with the fan down because this case actually does come with risers, and there's about a good, I'd say, half-inch gap there. There is no ventilation on the bottom of the case, but with these fans, how much air they blow, that power supply never gets hot. Ever. I have checked temperatures, I've put temperature probes up in the casing, and I have never seen anything that's not a decent temperature. Now, as far as my RAM goes, I'm using Patriot G2 Killer 1333 megahertz DDR3 RAM. Each stick is 4 gigahertz, so I'm running at 12 gigabytes of RAM. Don't need that much, but I'm doing a little bit of testing myself. So, I just have to say I cannot say enough about this Corsair H60. Lavco Price Tech and a couple other people did horrible reviews on this thing, and I can't seem to understand why. I have this thing running at 3.4 gigahertz at a 245 bus speed, 14 multiplier, locked processor, by the way. I have the core voltage up a little bit, and this thing's doing awesome. I will show you my temperatures because I think it bears noticing. Now look at this. 24 Celsius is what I'm running at now. My lowest is 16, and my highest has been 35. That's playing Black Ops on my processor. And for those of you saying that, processor temperatures are nothing, well, look at my video card temperatures. This case has done nothing but great work for me. I'm running at 40 right now because the case is open. Whenever the case is closed, it tends to run a lot cooler. 22 is usually my minimum, and 58 is the maximum, playing Black Ops. That is insane. I've heard of these things getting up to 90 degrees. Why am I not getting that high? Maybe I'm just lucky. I've also done my own fan ramping up on this video card. That's probably helped a little bit. I, set the fan profiles myself. I cannot say enough about this whole setup. I'm very happy with it. I don't need anything else, but I am going to put more into it because I am just so happy with my setup. I want to improve it because eventually there are going to be games that I'm not going to be able to play, and I want to ensure the fact that I'm still going to be able to play them. Now, I don't really have much else to say about this setup except for it's a great setup. I did forget. My motherboard is a MSI 970A G45. Now, this motherboard has actually been a good motherboard for me, except for it didn't like the Corsair 212 that I put on here. Or no, sorry, that's the Cooler Master. I didn't like the Cooler Master 212 that I put on here. It seemed the weight was bending the board, and it seemed to be a little bit of a problem on this thing. But as soon as I put the Corsair H60 on here, I lost all of my problems. It booted right up. It hasn't had a stutter since. It's just been a great motherboard now that I've got something that doesn't weigh 10 pounds on my motherboard. Granted, when I did have the air cooler, I did have cooler temperatures for idle. Gaming, the temperatures were horrible. Gaming with this, the temperatures are awesome, but my idle temps aren't exactly the best unless I have the case completely closed and air's allowed to travel the way it's going to travel. But yeah, I cannot say enough about the H60, the motherboard, the RAM, the power supply. The only thing that's stayed the same since my old machine is the case, the optical drive, and the hard drive. I'm not even using the same cables, data cables, because they're the ones that came with this motherboard rock. I'm actually getting better speeds, and that might be because of my processor, but I'll leave that up to you for debate. I did also want to note that the H60 can go on so many different form factors. I've actually tried it. It'll go on AM3, AM2, the 939, and the 754. I mean, how much badass is that? That it's that inclusive. I will never again have as much respect for Corsair as I do with this. I mean, I was skeptical because, it's a self-contained system. The radiator is very thin. It's barely even half an inch thin. And, it's tall. It's for a 120 millimeter fan, but still. And they even say to push air into it so it exhausts into your case. And with my setup with this 140 millimeter fan, I could probably pull it off. I'd have to pump a hell of a lot more air out of this thing, but I don't want to do it that way. Eventually I might go push-pull and, pull the air into it and then push it out. The temperatures back here are actually kind of warm, but the intake for the radiator is warm, but the exhaust or the return line for the processor is actually fairly cold. It's actually cold to the touch, which is kind of interesting considering this room is 70 degrees. But, that's my setup. I'm very proud of it. I'm very glad I have it. And I want to show it off to you guys. So if anybody has any suggestions or comments or questions, please feel free to leave a link in the bar below. Or, not a link, but, or even, if you want to leave a link, leave a comment, link, suggestions down there. I will read them. And you guys have a good day. Bye.